Now. Okay.
Hey guys.
Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Kayla, Vane, and my perspective. Welcome into the stream.
So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Martin made a comment recently that he made a boo-boo.
Yeah. It's kind of been the talk of all of the A Song of Ice and Fire communities.
So why not give our inputs about his little oopsie poo-poo, little mess up.
We are good, Kayla. How are you?
Apparently, Martin got a little too kill happy and ended up killing off a character that he now needs to resolve the story. But he didn't say who.
Nope. The thing that's really funny about that is that happened, and he admitted it publicly.
Which, I mean, realistically, I'm sure a lot of people think this. I kind of think it too. It's probably just a publicity stunt to get some attention.
Yeah, it
But
could be.
we're going to forget about that because kind of theorizing and brainstorming about who it could be, that's just fun. And who's Martin to lie? Come on.
Yeah, that's true. He would never. And I mean, it's not like he can't write his way out of it, whatever it is. Or it could be a character that is dead but could easily come back or something.
I mean, I hope he can. And
Yeah,
we'll
otherwise,
we'll get into the characters in a minute. Just letting people come in.
But also, it could just be one more excuse for him to not finish the books.
He would never, Martin, come up with excuses
it's
to
only
not
been
finish.
it's only been 12 years. It's only been 12.
What's another 5? I'm in the dark. I'm old enough to be your parents. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting up there in years.
I'm old. Also, I mean, I feel like we will actually get Winds of Winter before that other Patrick Rothfuss book comes out, so from the Name of the Wind series.
I don't know what that is.
It's another one where like he's this guy, he wrote these 2 books. It's supposed to be a trilogy. The Name of the Wind is the first book, but he put out the first 2 books and it's literally been years since supposedly like the 3rd book was gonna come out and just like nothing. And he's actually being like really kind of passive aggressive about it.
Man, his own just.
But I think it's more likely that we'll get Winds
read a
of Winter
fanfic.
than we'll get the
It's all a matter
3rd
of
whatever.
perspective.
I haven't read those books. I don't know. They're very popular though. The first 2 books came out and they were really, really popular. Everyone really liked them. I haven't read them. Mainly because we may never get a 3rd book, and I'm just like, I'm already heartbroken that one series is not done. I don't need another one to be upset about. So,
oldest is 39. Okay, that puts you actually right in line to be my parent.
yeah.
That's okay. All right, so I figure we could probably just is the stream good? I know it was giving us a little,
it looks
bit
okay.
of hiccups in the beginning.
I'm gonna go into
That's
the bathroom though because I feel like someone's being naughty.
What books? The Song of Ice and Fire books. Okay, that was quick.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to shut the door.
yeah, when it comes to characters who have died, There's so many, but there's only a handful of characters I think that could make that big of a difference to affect the story.
At least the story where it's at right now, and where it will be going later on.
Now, I kind of have my own opinion on it, but where do you think this character died? Like, do you think this is something that he messed up in the very beginning? Like, is it Eddard Stark? Was
No,
Eddard not supposed to really die?
definitely not. Definitely not. All right. Well, have fun. I guess. It's the dentist. I don't know how much fun you could have, but thank you for popping in and hanging out.
It's great so far. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
I don't think it was anyone like Eddard or Robert or obviously John Aaron, because he kickstarts the series. That murder kickstarts the series. I have a feeling it was somebody that was potentially murdered or died in A Feast for Crows or Dance with Dragons. Dance of Dragons. Because he wrote those two books simultaneously. It's the same story, but he had to chop it up. There was just a lot happening in splitting those two books up, and I feel like that was where the greatest room for error took place.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely in the more recent books, and I also think when you look at them, it has to be someone who isn't associated with like one of the Red Priestesses or the Red Priests.
Right, because you could just easily resurrect that character.
Right, they're just a glitch in the system because it's like, oops, okay, no, this guy resurrected him.
Yeah, it I don't think it's a character that's readily available for, say, Mokoro or Melisandre to just bring back, or Thoros.
Only the Shadow knows. Well, let's ask the Shadow. Maybe it was Renly, the Shadow. Little hint there.
Maybe it was Renly.
No.
I don't think it was
So
Renly.
I'm gonna throw out some names, and you can tell me whether you agree with them or not, and
Okay.
then you can throw out your names.
Oh, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. So.
All right. So my number one is Greywind,
Okay.
which is a little bit further back than what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't know for sure, but there's that theory. We know that John's gonna come back. We
Yeah.
know that for sure.
Yeah.
But there's a theory that he warged into Ghost right before he died.
Right.
And like his spirit lives on through Ghost. So I was thinking maybe there was a reason for Robb Stark to live on through Greywind. And it would be like, you know, Catelyn, Lady Stoneheart, along with her trusty Greywind, aka Robb Stark.
Right.
Just terrorizing all the Lannisters, which honestly would be a really cool little thing.
It would be pretty epic. All those like things that all the Lannister soldiers said about Robb and his evil direwolf, all those things, and now they actually are coming true.
Right?
That would be cool.
The more I thought about that, I thought it would be a really cool setup for something in the story, and I'm kind of sad Martin didn't include that.
That would be cool.
My next is Tywin Lannister. Just because Tywin kind of had to die to help propel Tyrion along.
Yeah.
But
Down the path of darkness.
He's also one of the most influential characters, and if he was still around, he could have a huge impact on the story.
Yeah.
And to come to full resolution, he could have a huge impact on the end, and he's one of those characters that would cause Martin to look like, oh, now what do I do? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Whether I agree, whether it makes sense or not, I will always say I want more Tywin in the story. So I like, whether it makes sense or not, yes, I will agree. Tywin should not have died. He should have just continued being a part of the story. Please and thank you.
Next, I think someone I forgot died was Kevin Lannister.
Oh yeah, he dies right at the end of Dance with Dance. I always say Dance with Dragons. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He dies right at the end of the 5th book. Yeah.
He's another one I haven't fully thought through, but I thought I'd bring his name into the discussion so maybe you could come up with something, because obviously he was second in command to Tywin, and it was closer to the end. So he could have definitely had an impact, even though he was just kind of floating along low key through the story.
Yeah, he was. The thing about Kevin, I think, is that Tywin so overshadows him in personality. And he's the firstborn son, but like Kevin is very capable.
And he could have posed like
he was actually doing a good job.
He could have posed this huge conflict for Tyrion when he comes back to Westeros with Dany later on.
Yeah.
Well, we're assuming that's how it goes.
We're assuming that's what's gonna. We pretty much know that's what's gonna happen. Tyrion's gonna corrupt her a little bit and stuff.
And then, the Greyjoy. His name just slipped my mind. The King, Balon. He's another one. Because, like, yeah, Euron's taking over and everything, but it could have been
to die for Euron to take over.
Maybe, but I could see how he was smarter about taking over, and I could see how Euron could have like used him to maybe cause a distraction or something, or
I don't know about that one. That one's a little weak to me.
Yeah. But those are basically mine. Of who I think. Oh, and I honestly did. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he die in the book? Jojen.
He hasn't died in the books yet.
Okay.
He hasn't no, he hasn't died in the books yet. But Jojen Paste is a theory.
Yeah.
That's why
I couldn't remember
confirmed.
If it was a theory.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's a theory, but
Okay.
It hasn't been confirmed yet.
Because he could have been another huge one.
Yeah.
Although Bran, after becoming the three-eyed raven, would be all-knowing and all-powerful.
What if it's
so
someone like really wild? What if it's someone that didn't even like die in the books? What if it's someone
one other person, Aemon, Maester Aemon.
You took that one from me.
Sorry.
That was one of mine. This.
Sorry.
Maester Aemon was like my go-to big one. Now I got nothing. Thanks.
Sorry. You could have gone first.
Whatever.
Completely lost track of all the deaths. Oh, yeah, I couldn't keep track of all the deaths either. I'm not going to lie. I had to pull up a cheat sheet before this and go through some of the deaths.
Yeah, but Varys isn't dead. The eunuch? Varys isn't dead.
Varys was actually the one who killed Kevin. And he killed someone else too. I can't remember who.
No, don't do it.
It's fine.
Varys in the books is not dead. Maester Aemon, though, for me, was like the biggest one that stood out the most. The potential for plot lines and things with Dany. Whoa. I feel like, you remember when he says a Targaryen alone in the world is a very dangerous thing? It would have had a much bigger impact if she gets to Westeros, meets him, gets to chit chat and bond over Targaryen things, and then he dies.
Yeah. See, I feel like Aemon could have had a huge impact because he is the other.
He's the only other Targaryen, and also
the other true Targaryen that we know of, because apparently there's young Griff.
Well, young Griff is the other thing. Like, what if Aemon also got to meet young Griff? How would that impact the story? Would he know whether or not he's a true Targaryen? You know? Like, what? There's a lot to go off of just on that.
Could have been something that, like, threw Martin off, because he could have been writing it like, oh, if I leave Aemon alive and he sees young Griff, the jig is up. And then the reader, there's no mystery for the reader. So he was like, oh, I'll just do that. And then realizes, oh, no, I needed Aemon for Daenerys or something like that.
Yeah. Aemon is Aemon is spelled Aemon.
Aemon Targaryen. He was the librarian at the Wall. Castle Black.
Brother of Egg.
Yes, brother of Egg. That's the weirdest name ever. I am brother of Egg.
Yeah, Maester Aemon could have just, the storylines could have just exploded between Dany, young Griff. Even if Dany and John's plot lines converged, how that would have, like, what Maester Aemon could have, like, there's just so much there that I feel like maybe Martin is regretting not leaving him in the story.
Definitely a possibility. Griff is in Gryffindor.
So what if it's a character?
Yes, young Godric Griff.
What if it's a character that not necessarily that he killed off, but that he established as dead in the story, but then it turns out like he actually wants that character to be living?
I think so, because then he wouldn't have made a fuss about it.
Bless you, Lola.
It would have just been, oh, well, I never strictly said they were dead, so they're alive again.
I don't know.
Like, I don't think it would have been that big of an issue then that he would, tweet that out. Like I said, unless it was just, hey, let's stir people up.
Maybe.
Architect spells Gryffindor wrong. What?
I mean, it's not a common word.
But it is pretty common. It's one of those you would think with
I know, but it's
AI
spelled
technology now.
But it's spelled kind of old English style. If you're going to spell it, talk to text is probably spelling phonetically. You know what I mean? Not old English based.
Yeah,
which is how
true.
Gryffindor is spelled.
Even Adobe Premiere's transcription is kind of off on a few things every now and then.
Yeah. What about Quentin Martell? What a waste. That was just a waste.
It was a waste. I
get the point
how
of
he
it,
would
but
affect the later story.
He potentially could in some. He could have, like, what? Let's just say, for example, he survived and he did marry Dany, or at least attempted to.
Maybe, but see that's as far as it goes. Like, what is that going to have on the resolution?
Well, maybe he comes back bitter and whatever else, and starts his own Dornish whatever thing. I'm not saying I'm buying into it. I'm just throwing characters out there.
Oh, okay.
I'm just throwing it out there.
So far, the one I want to believe the most is Grey Wind.
I'm all in
because I like that storyline.
I'm all in for Maester Aemon.
Spelled it correctly the second time? Well, see, it's learning. It heard you making fun of its spelling. Okay, so are there any other ones that would have like an impact? I know like a ton of Freys died. If you got baked into a pie.
Agreed.
Yeah, that I didn't think of that. Yeah, because I'm assuming at this point they're probably.
She's the whole love is the death of duty in human form for Jon, right? But, and I get that's the point of killing her off, is to demonstrate that love is the death of duty and Jon making that choice. But at the same time...
And he still died.
And he still died. At the same time, though, what if she had not died?
then he would have chose booty over duty.
And then what happens?
They live happily ever after. They let Westeros do their warring, and they go live happily beyond the wall.
I feel like she could be quite the pot stirrer if she had not died.
Yeah. And I also
could have
think
really-
now that Jon died, and he's gonna come back, the Night's Watch kind of turned on him. Like, him and the wildlings are going to go off and do their own thing.
He's gonna say F the watch.
Yeah. I'm assuming. Well, what I assume is they'll escape and go towards Winterfell, and then they'll, meet up with Stannis and everything. If Stannis is still alive, we don't know if he's still alive in the books. But
Stannis the Manus is gonna crush the Boltons.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's gonna crush them.
So he's gonna do that, and he's gonna go probably fight Ramsay Bolton. Like, everything that happens in this show. I actually didn't watch the season, but I remember there was the Battle of the Bastards. Everyone said it was
Stannis,
a really great episode.
Stannis died in the most stupid way ever. Didn't even fight the Battle of the Bastards. Stannis was already dead by that point.
Oh no.
Yeah, you know how Stannis dies in the show? I'm angry now because he's in the woods, running away, and Brienne catches him and she kills him for revenge for Renly. And Stannis just sits there up against a tree like, yep, just kill me. I deserve it. I killed Renly. Kill me. And Brienne just kills him. It's so bad. It's so terrible. I remember watching it going, oh my god, one of my favorite characters goes out like this. This is bullshit. This is terrible. I hate this.
That is a pretty shitty way to go, I'm not gonna lie.
I think Stannis is going to make it to the end of the series? No, I don't, even though it breaks my heart to say it.
What about Stannis' daughter? I forget her name.
Shireen?
She hasn't died in the books. We don't know that she's died because Stannis has just ghosted everyone. And we don't know what's going on. But we can almost assume that she's probably going to die.
Has led everyone to believe that at some point in the books she will be burned.
Yeah. So
we just don't know we don't know how it's gonna happen or how Stannis is gonna we don't know the circumstances, but it's pretty much been confirmed that it will happen. We don't know if he's going to do what he did in the show. We don't know if he's going to have to burn her because, her grayscale becomes active and, they have to kill her to prevent the spread. We don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But the point is, it's not going to go down like it did in the show. My dude is going to rock the Boltons and sink them into the lake, kick their butts. That's what's going to happen.
Allegedly.
I don't know what's going to happen after that, but he's going to do that. It's going to be awesome, and I'm going to be so happy. And then it's probably, I don't know what's going to happen after that.
Have to wait and see. I don't know, but technically she hasn't died in the books.
Technically, this is so far off of what we're discussing.
Yeah, we got to stick to who has died in the books.
Not Stannis, that's who.
Allegedly.
He's still alive. Don't even.
All right, so now that we kind of listed some names, let's see who's the most plausible. Who would have the greatest impact?
Maester Aemon. I think is the most likely. Yeah. I think he has the potential to have the most impact on the characters.
Yeah.
Because even he could even potentially impact Tyrion.
How so?
Well, doesn't he?
Well,
talk to Tyrion at the wall?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and he's the librarian guy. And if he were to say meet up with Dany and find common cause with her and whatever else, Maester Aemon could show up and be the voice of reason against Tyrion. Tyrion, he could help be what turns Dany away from Tyrion eventually. You know, if Tyrion's giving her all this advice and she's actually doing a lot of harm, he could be the guy trying to tell her, like, hey, this little dude you hang out with all the time, he's bad news.
That's true. You know, one of the reasons, though, why I go away from that and, like, the big characters and I go more towards someone associated with, like, Euron or Lady Stoneheart or something like that is because I'm a firm believer everything happened in the show how it was supposed to happen in the books. Maybe not told correctly, but I think everyone ends up where they should be.
Yeah.
And he had no issue with how everything fit together there and everything resolved correctly. So I don't think like the main characters are the ones to focus on. I think it's someone who is included in the books that aren't included in the show. And I know Euron is kind of included, but let's face it, he's not really included.
That wasn't Euron, which is terrible because that actor was great, but that was not Euron.
Yeah.
I just thought of someone and I lost it. Darn it. It was someone like more obscure too, and I lost it.
The random person in the prologue of every book.
It's Flement Brax.
You're gonna have to.
The guy with the unicorn helmet. Never mind.
Okay.
What if it's Joffrey?
No.
I'm just kidding.
There's no.
Craster.
Craster, actually, yeah, he could have some
like Craster
effect.
Could make some sense. Like maybe he killed. Like he would have to kill him off, but maybe he killed him off too soon. Like maybe he realizes that once Jon gets like resurrected, like there would have to be something to go down with like Jon and Craster and Bloodraven or something, you know, like there or some reveal about like Cold Hands or something.
Yeah. I also don't think it's got anything to do with Bran because he's made it to Cold Hands and the Three-Eyed Raven. Pretty soon he's going to become all-powerful, all-knowing. He doesn't need anyone.
So maybe it would just be like there are some theories out there about Jon becoming like the new Night's King.
Yeah.
So what if it anyway, if Jon were to if Jon were to say become the next Night's King, whatever, Craster may be part of that journey because he has that relationship with the White Walkers.
Maybe.
Like there could be some kind of connection, or there just could be some other reason why Craster would still need to be alive, or like the Night's Watch plot lines and whatever else. But I feel like there could be something there with him that maybe Martin was like, if I hadn't killed him, I could have done this, 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 and this.
I don't know. The thing that makes the most sense is that the Night's King is a Stark, and because of Jon's like blood of the Starks, he can like connect with them, and then part of his Targaryen lineage helps him control dragons, which would make him the rider of the ice dragon that happens later on, whether that's Viserion or not,
or Rhaegal, or I don't think it'll be Drogon.
No, probably not.
Rhaegal or Viserion.
It's going to be the white dragon. I can't remember who's white because they're not the same colors in the show.
Viserion is the white dragon.
Yeah, so it's the white dragon.
And then Rhaegal is the green dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who I theorize will probably be ridden by Tyrion. It's always my theory. And then other people came up with the theory that Tyrion was actually the son of the Mad King.
I hate that theory so much.
I know, but it fits what my theory was from the very beginning.
I
So
hate
go
that theory
with it.
so much, though. I hate it. It ruins the whole thing with him and Tywin. Like, it just detracts so much from his relationship with Tywin. I hate it. He is so Tywin's son. Hi, Catherine. We are talking about. So, George R.R. Martin put out a tweet where he basically said that he's writing and he realized that he killed off a character that he actually needs in the story now. And he did a big oops. So, we're talking about what character do we think it could be? And also going on little mini Song of Ice and Fire tangents as we
Because some of the
as we go.
theories tie in with,
Other things.
why this
yeah.
person would have made a huge impact.
Yeah. It kind of connects together. So I went on a Stannis rant for like a minute. It was great.
I also think, or no, Penny's still alive at this point, right? Yeah, Penny's still alive. Never mind.
Prince that was killed by the Oberyn Martell.
Oberyn, he could have done something. Although I think he's one of the people whose like death needed to happen because it spurred on the sand snakes.
It does start. It like kickstarts the whole like Dornish plot line.
Yeah. I feel like his death was necessary. Maybe Martin needed to keep him alive a little bit longer, though. Maybe he needed to like lead them or something. But then it wouldn't have been this like strong female trio.
But maybe he needed to do something else with Oberyn and realize that I needed him to be at least alive up to this point before doing this thing.
That is possible. Oberyn is definitely one of those that could have had some impact, but I don't know. I don't jump to him.
I don't either. I feel like his story fit pretty well.
I've only seen the show once recently, considered starting the books, but worried they'll never be finished. That worry is warranted. Yeah.
That worry is valid.
I don't think they ever will be. I don't encourage people to start the books if you want a completed series because you'll probably never get it.
Yeah, it's all about you're going to I can't confidently say start them and the books will be done because we've been waiting how long for Winds of Winter, so which I do think we will get. But I don't know if we'll get that last book. Saying.
A dream of spring is nothing but a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bright side for Martin here. It doesn't really matter because he's never going to finish the series, so
he could just say, screw it, I'm just going to do this, whatever.
But yeah, I think Aemon is definitely a big one. I also think Tywin.
I think is a would you guys be up for George passing the mantle on to someone else to finish it for him? It would depend. Like, I know a lot of people have said like they would be down with like Bryan Sanderson finishing the series with a writer. I think
the problem is
he's a good choice.
The problem is Martin has like a unique writing style. It's very similar to like, I mean, I kind of say like my biggest disappointment with A Song of Ice and Fire not being finished is that it was like the first fantasy series that was on par with Lord of the Rings. So to find a writer who could like do everything justice is kind of hard. But at the same time, I have a feeling that Martin probably has everything written out in a way where if you did find a good enough writer, they could
put it together.
Yeah, figure it out and put it together. Though I don't think it would
be as good.
Not even that. I think there would just be like kind of a feeling that it's not the full story.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can live with it not being finished if you rate it with Lord of the Rings. It is on that epic scale. And I just don't know who could potentially finish it. I would recommend Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It is a standalone book, but it is huge and it is awesome. I would also recommend
Dark Materials.
I would also recommend his Dark Materials.
That's a fast read, though.
It's only 3 books, but my God, are they magnificent, and they are 3 of the greatest books I have ever read in my life. I love them. I would definitely recommend that. It's not really fantasy, but I would also highly recommend Watership Down.
Kind of fantasy.
It's kind of fantasy. It's really good. It's also a standalone. There's also a series called The Belgariad that I would also highly recommend. Those are really good. It's 5 books. It is finished.
Gotta add that. It's finished.
It's a finished series. Yeah, I'm going to put it in there.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, Martin does such a good job. Like, he's up there. He's writing on par with that of Tolkien. But it will never be anywhere as good as Tolkien unless he finishes it.
Yeah, he's got to finish it. He's got to finish it, or else it'll always be like The Prince That Was Promised. The series that was promised.
Yeah, pretty much.
The series that never ended.
So
he's got to suck it up and do it. Just get it done,
I think.
Oh, Catherine Reed, his Dark Materials. It's so good. So good. I mean, they're kind of fast reads, but oh my God. So good. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Way up there with Harry Potter for me. Absolutely astounding. Very different, though. Very adult.
So I think Tywin
The
would have been
Golden
a
Monkey.
huge. I think Tywin would have been a huge one to keep alive.
At least for a while longer.
Not even that. I think it would have been great to keep him alive a lot longer, because Tyrion has had this kind of back and forth with Tywin. They hate each other, but they're very much like the same person.
Same person, yeah.
And Tywin never showed Tyrion any respect. Tyrion pretends to not show his dad respect, but he respects him a lot.
Well, he wants his approval so badly.
Exactly. I think it would have been a fantastic conclusion to their storyline had he, like, not killed Tywin. Maybe, shot him with a crossbow, but he survived or something like that. He escapes, comes back with Dany
yep.
leading his own part of the army, and clashes with his father on the battlefield. And then, he comes out victorious or something like that. Like, he outsmarts, outmaneuvers his father.
That sounds cheesy to me.
I don't think so.
That sounds cheesy to me.
No, not if you do it right.
Yeah, that sounds cheesy. I don't know. I'm You 2.0. That's got some, I don't know. Tyrion's not a battle tactician. It's not his wheelhouse remotely at all. Would not be believable that he'd be able to outmaneuver Tywin.
I could see it. He's been in quite a few battles, and he defended King's Landing. Like, that whole defense
not by being
was
a battle tactician. It was different kind of smarts. Like, I don't know.
I was a battle tactician. He put in all the defenses to stop Stannis' fleet. That is battle tacticians.
I mean, I meant in the sense that he's not classically trained in it.
No, but that's
on an open battlefield.
But he's learning from experience. Like, he does things his own way. He doesn't do things classically. And it's super effective.
I don't know how I feel about that idea. I don't like that idea.
I like it. I think it could have been good.
I'm not into that.
All right. Don't care if you're into it, but I'm just saying.
I'm just giving my opinion.
It could have a huge
I don't like
impact
that idea.
on the end storyline and how everything is resolved.
I'm not saying Tywin still being alive. Like, I'm all here for that. I am all here for that. I just don't know how I feel about that as how they, I don't know. The whole thing with Tyrion going down this whole dark road, it's exacerbated by him killing his father. So if he didn't kill his father, what would be the thing that would push him over the edge?
He would have thought he killed his father.
So he would have thought he
He
killed
still
his
goes
father.
down the same dark road, and
And then
then
what happens when he finds out he's still alive? How does that impact Tyrion's character?
it like enrages him to kill his
Further.
father.
Even harder?
Yeah.
I think it would still have to be something like intimate and awful, not like this big grand sweeping thing. I don't know.
What do you mean? They win and they like capture his father, and I don't know. Tyrion could, just behead his father or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not jazzed about that. I think the whole point, I think it kind of takes away from it if he does like best his father in that way.
How so?
Because he gets some kind of like vindication from it to a certain degree, and I don't like that idea. I think the whole point of him killing his father, there shouldn't be any net positive or win or whatever. It should be terrible. There should be no like, I finally outsmarted you, Dad. Like it's too predictable for the story.
Don't know. Be cool to have the moment Tyrion, drinking out of his father's jeweled goblets. The end of the battle.
I don't know. I'm just very underwhelmed by that idea.
Okay, well, there's one of mine. So, what's yours?
I don't have anything. I don't know. I'm just you're the
So Aemon's the only one.
listen. I haven't had a lot of time to think about this stuff. Okay. Other things.
So what other characters, like off the top of your head, do you think of?
God, I feel like a Muppet. So many people have died. Honestly, I like the Grey Wind idea more than the Tyrion Tywin meeting on the battlefield thing.
All right, Catherine, have a good night.
Oh, Lysa.
Lysa? I don't think so. I don't think
She's dead in the books, right?
Yeah. She got thrown out of the moon
She
door.
got thrown out, but what if there was something else she needed to do first? Or some kind of information she needed to relay first before she got thrown out of the moon door.
I don't know what information. I mean,
I don't either. I don't know.
She relayed everything to
Did she?
Catelyn.
Something else. Maybe there was something else.
Things like she isolated herself from everything. What else could she know?
All right, Catherine. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for popping in. You listen. You said, "What are you thinking?" I'm just pulling stuff out of my hat right now.
Okay.
I didn't say I believed it either. I'm just saying, what about this one? No. Okay.
Not Lysa.
Well. What about that dude Arya killed in Bravos?
Dude. Talking about the Frey? The one she like fed the No, was that on the show?
I was like, oh, the Kingsguard guy, but wasn't that in just the show? Was that in the books too?
No, she kills someone in the books. I just can't remember who.
I know.
Because that's what kind of like triggers her I am Arya Stark and this isn't me, and she goes and flips over the staircase to get Needle.
Yeah. Ryan, hi. We are talking about the books, not the show. Yeah, who is that guy she killed? I can't remember. The show and the books are like blending in my head.
Right,
like
when you
in
think
the
about
show,
the last few chapters of the books, it's like, well, is this the show?
I know. I know in the show it was one of the Kingsguard, and he was like a pedophile. And I'm like, I don't think that's in the book, but I know she kills somebody. Or maybe that is in the book. See, I can't remember. But that guy, maybe it's that guy.
I don't think so. He's so
I get it.
minuscule
What
to the
if
story
it's
we can't even
like?
remember
What
his
if it's
name.
someone like Eris Oakhart?
See, I was thinking about that.
Like he could have still
he could have had an
done some
impact with
things.
the Sand Snakes.
Yeah, that whole plot. Like
I loved him as a character, just off the record, just for not even on topic. Like, I thought he was a great character. He was a great perspective to have.
It was really unique.
Yeah,
for sure. And it came out of nowhere too. You're like reading this book, and it's all of a sudden like, oh, we're in Dorne following this Kingsguard dude. Okay, what's happening right now? Ariane. Okay, all right, let's go with it. And it was cool
I could
to see
him having some impact.
Yeah, he could have continued to either be part of the Dornish plot or left and gone to do so. Like there was a lot of maneuverability. You could have gone in like different directions with him in that role. So I think he's
I think it might be something with like
possibility.
Euron or Lady Stoneheart. Maybe it's Damphair.
He's not dead.
I thought Euron kills him.
He's not dead. No.
Oh, he's not. Who's the other one that Euron kills? Euron kills someone else. Besides Balon. Well, he doesn't kill him. He hires an assassin to kill him.
I know. I remember Balon. I don't remember anyone else.
Pretty sure he kills someone like the Kingsmoot.
Oh, he does. He like kills someone blows Dragonbinder and like dies, right?
All that, but there's someone else that he actually kills. I'm pretty sure.
It's not like Dagmar Cleftjaw or something, but somebody like that, is it?
I don't think so. Oh, what? I mean, I'm sure it's not that important if you don't remember. Oh, I haven't read the books. I mean, if you're not interested in a series that doesn't have an ending, I won't waste your time. It's a really great series, though, which makes
5 books are really good.
Just has no conclusion.
Yeah, there's just no end. See, all these other characters, though, I'm thinking of are like earlier on, and
I mean, we're theorizing that would probably be someone later on, but it could be that he just maybe that's why he killed them off in like book 2 and is just now realizing, oh my god, I needed him to come back.
Right, I needed that guy. What if it's Sir Courtney Penrose?
Who was he? How did he die?
He's that dude at Storm's End who refused to give Stannis Edric Storm, refused to yield the castle, and like just talked mad shit.
Oh yeah.
What if it's that guy?
Something tells me no.
A lot of the fandom wishes it was that guy.
Oh really?
Yeah, that he's a fan favorite big time. People love Sir Courtney Penrose.
You've researched this before? Like, what character do people think?
I've just literally seen people talk about him a lot.
Oh.
Just in general about how much they love him. And they hate Stannis because he killed that character specifically. Jeez. They love that dude.
I don't even remember him, and he's got all this following.
He's got a big following. Yeah, he's a very popular dude.
Anyone else?
To like just spitball my brain a little bit. I don't know.
Nymeria is still alive. It would actually, and it would make even more sense because, if Greywind was still alive, then you'd have all the the Stark men with their wolves and Arya,
But not Lady.
not Lady.
May she
I don't
rest in
know how.
peace. Poor Lady.
At least she got a Stark's death.
She did.
But yeah. Who else did I say? We talked about the Greyjoys.
Aemon, Tywin, Ygritte, Craster, Oberyn. I mean, I could say the Mountain, but we all know he's Robert Strong.
Yeah,
Like, we
he's
know
alive.
he's not dead.
And the same with Sandor Clegane. He's still alive.
He's still alive. It's not confirmed, but I mean, he's still alive. He's not dead.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it can't be anyone that's closely associated with a Red Priest either, because it's just he's alive. That's all.
Lord Commander Mormont. He did.
He is. I could see that.
But at the same time, Jon wouldn't have become Lord Commander if he hadn't died. But
maybe he would have needed Lord Mormont to be alive up until this point, and then Jon and Lord Mormont are both killed, but he's resurrected. Lord Mormont isn't, you know?
something, or maybe there was more story to tell there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mormont becomes a White Walker.
Oh. Yeah. Like, maybe it wasn't just that he killed him, but it was that they burned his body. Like, maybe he needed to become a white or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then that could have been like a whole thing with Jon once he gets resurrected.
And we haven't even like met the White Walkers yet, so we can't even talk about.
So far in the story, like, they haven't appeared. There's no Night King leader thing. They're not even part of the story yet. So,
And Mance Raider's still alive, right?
yeah.
Okay, I can
He's
remember
at Winterfell.
Because
He's
it
like
was,
disguised as a
bard or a
yeah,
jester, something like
bard,
that.
yeah.
Musician. Yeah, because it was Rattleshirt who was actually the one they burnt.
Yeah.
Poor Rattleshirt.
Sucks to be that guy. Yes, Jon Snow died at the very end of the last book that was published. It's like the last chapter is that Jon Snow
Like
dies.
the last paragraph.
Yeah, is Jon Snow
That's
dying.
the cliffhanger you're left with on the last book.
Yeah, that is literally where the books stop. The books stop with Jon dying. That is the end of the 5th book. And Dany out in the Dothraki Sea with Drogon. That's where the books end.
How about Khal Drogo?
Without Khal Drogo.
I know, I was just throwing it out there.
Viserys.
I guess you could have kept him alive. Well, no, because Dany wouldn't have had this big revelation.
What would it be if she, like, birthed the dragons and Viserys was, like, still alive and she wouldn't let him have any of the dragons? What a great dynamic that would be.
What if they just, like, shunned him and he went out by himself, then he comes back again and tries to, you know, do his controlling thing, and Drogon just, you know, eats him. What a fitting end.
This one's
He said he was the dragon, and now he is part of the dragon
so cute.
for the next 24 hours, or however long the digestion takes.
Yeah, we don't know how quick dragon's metabolism is.
Got anything else?
I don't know. I mean, the big ones. Like, those are the big ones. Tywin, Aemon, those like.
I feel like there's someone we're missing, though.
I mean, it could be. Is Olenna dead in the books? The Queen of Thorns?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
not yet.
And then Rickon and the lady with them, I forget her name. Asha. She's not dead yet.
Osha. Yeah, they're in Skagos, like living it up with the cannibals.
And
I guess.
Hodor's still alive.
And Hodor's still alive. Yeah, season 7 and 8 are just made up, supposedly. Although supposedly Martin told them like where the story was supposed to go, but I don't know how.
You don't know that. I said that. That's my belief. What I think happened was they called up Martin and was like, "Hey, so we gotta know where the story's going." Martin was like, "Oh well, Tyrion's gonna end up here, Dane's gonna end up here, and everything. Call me tomorrow. We'll have a conference call. I'll go over like all the plot points and stuff you need to go through." And they were just like, "No, it's all right. We got it from here." And then they just made up BS along the way.
Like Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that. Oh my god. The murder of that dragon was unforgivable. That was unforgivable. Rhaegal got done so dirty. It's one of my biggest gripes.
I don't know
about the show.
That's my unpopular opinion, is that unfortunately, if you didn't like where everyone ended up, who was on the Iron Throne at the end, you're probably not going to like the ending of the books. Because I think all of that's going to come to fruition. It just might come in a better way.
Differently. Yeah.
Better explained, better written.
I didn't hate how everyone ended up. I just hated how it got there. But except for the dragons, they got done dirty. I didn't like it. I was upset about the dragons. Well, Drogon ended up being fine, but yeah. Rhaegal, come on, that was just terrible.
Nothing can escape.
Viserion too. That was so sad.
Nothing can escape Martin's murderous mind.
The poor dragons.
But see, that's the thing. I think Jon has to ride Viserion. Right? He has ghost whites, he's snow white. Everything that's white is associated with Jon, it seems.
Yeah, and Viserion's
white. And it would just make sense that it would come down to like a final battle where Daenerys goes crazy and starts burning down King's Landing, and Jon Snow's like, no, we didn't talk about this. Hold on a minute. And she's like, fuck you, I'm gonna burn it all. And he's like, well, I'm gonna burn you then. And then this epic battle ensues, this dance with the dragons again. And
2.0.
Yeah.
Fire and blood.
Then it can be, it ends up where Viserion is killed in the battle, but Jon also kills Daenerys. And then that ending scene with Drogon and Jon is a little bit more meaningful because, they both lost a relative and someone they cared for.
Yeah.
And they're finally
I've heard theories
alone.
before that all the dragons are going to die at the end, and I really don't want all the dragons to die at the end.
I don't think they will. Like I said, it would be more appropriate because Drogon would be the last dragon, and Jon would technically be the last Targaryen.
I just don't want all the dragons to die. That's all I'm saying.
I think Drogon's going to be fine.
I hope so. I hope he gets to go to Valyria and live out his best life there. Although Balerion did not have the best time.
Say, don't go to Valyria. Don't do that.
No,
we tried that before.
Go to the Summer Isles or something, Drogon.
Stay away from the basilisk.
Dennis, we have no idea. No one knows. Sorry, we got nothing for you. No one knows.
Sometime in the next 10 years.
I would assume,
Hopefully.
within the next decade is probably a safe bet.
You can read the first, 2 chapters now?
No, there's a few, I think.
There's a few?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you want to, tease yourself there's a few chapters out.
Forsaken is a Hell of a chapter.
But remember,
Wow.
there's one more book after this one, so
Yeah, so even when this book comes out, just remember we have to wait for one more.
you know what's gonna suck though? We expect 7 books,
It's gonna
but
end up being like 10.
it was supposed to be 6, because
It's
Feast
supposed to
for
be.
Crows and Dance with Dragons was supposed to be 1 book, but you wrote too much.
I mean, technically, it was supposed to be 3 books if we really want to,
Pretty much.
go there. Right, Doda?
So right now it's just a race against the clock. Will Martin live long enough to finish the story? Probably not. Who knows? I also believe though, like, at this point you have had like millions of people researching this. Some people who have read these books
As much as I've
cover
read
to
Harry
cover
Potter.
like 10 times, researched everything, like every book he's written, not just the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
And they've come up with theories and fan fictions, and I guarantee you right now there is a theory or fan fiction out there that tells you exactly what is going to happen. But I also bet you there's like 10 of them that is better than the true ending. Like when you give millions of people over a decade to brainstorm this stuff,
They're going to come up with some really, really good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's like at this point, I mean, I want the book. I'm going to, call out, and I'm just going to stay home and read it the day it comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm not really like, anticipating it anymore, because I've probably read something that's just better.
I think the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to be.
Like I said,
Because
that's
people
why I'm
just
just
still
not.
have time to just stew and stew and stew and think about this and just come up with like not only good theories but also things that are just absolutely ridiculous and awful and terrible.
Like Varys is a mermaid.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, merman.
Or the theory that Bran is going to warg into Hodor and then rape Mira.
It's messed up. That came from 4chan, didn't it?
No.
No? Oh. That sounds like a 4chan theory if I've ever heard one.
I hate it. I hate it. Which do we prefer, Harry Potter or Game of Thrones?
I mean, which would I prefer to live in? Be Harry Potter. A lot less chance of dying.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Potter seems like a nicer world to live in. I
I think it's hard to honestly. I like A Song of Ice and Fire's world better.
Apples and oranges to me. I like them both equally for different reasons.
You can like them, but you have to admit that Martin is a much better world builder.
It's not about what's better. It's which do you prefer?
Oh. Yeah, I prefer A Song of Ice and Fire because there's just more mythology and more to look into.
I like them both very much for different reasons. So I don't you can't make me pick. It's like earlier today I was asked what's my favorite animal of all the other animals. I can't pick.
No. I mean, Martin, when you talk about world building, that goes back to the whole thing where one of the biggest disappointments is the fact that Martin was the chosen one. He did world building nearly as well as Tolkien. Like he created.
Just picturing you yelling at him like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You were the chosen one.
I would if I ever got the chance. He created multiple cultures, this entire world with multiple continents. He created different languages. You can go on Duolingo right now and learn High Valyrian.
I know.
And I think Dothraki.
Yeah, I think you can learn Dothraki too. I know you can learn Dothraki at college.
He made all these mythologies for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing is, those aren't even finished. Like I talked about in the World of Ice and Fire, where like the Silmarillion basically answers all your questions. Like nothing out there will answer all your questions about the world of Westeros.
We don't even have Fire and Blood Part 2 yet. But the fact that we have fire and blood is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Harry Potter takes first place for you, then Tolkienverse, then Game of Thrones. I mean, I guess if you're talking about like world complexity and everything, I got to put Harry Potter at the bottom.
I think this is just personal preference. It's got nothing to do with that.
Fair enough.
They're just talking about what they like more. Not necessarily who's better at what, just what their personal preference is.
Fair enough. It just sounds complicated. It kind of is. But,
Song Ice and Fire?
Yeah.
It is very complicated.
It's
There's
as
a lot
complicated
there.
as learning about Middle Earth and Elvish,
Yeah,
but
no, I know what Sindarin
it doesn't have
is.
as much reference material to learn. Sindarin, have you tried to learn that yet? I kind of want to.
I've not tried to learn Elvish. I've just sat here like I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in learning Elvish.
I kind of wanted to learn High Valyrian, just so I could watch House of the Dragon without subtitles.
That'd be cool. I see. I would potentially want to learn High Valyrian.
I don't want to learn Dothraki. Again, Daenerys makes that shit look difficult. Too much eyebrow movement for me.
He does that a lot anyway, though.
Emilia Clarke, yeah, I know. That was
I
a
just
joke.
want to be able to talk to a dragon.
Honestly, there's probably a lot of people who speak that out there. I mean, they teach that at college.
Yeah, you can find a community of people to speak with. There's tons of people probably who speak it.
Teach Mona High Valyrian. Then we can have conversations in public without people eavesdropping.
That's true.
No one would know.
Yeah. We'd be like Damon and Rhaenyra. But not
Wait, that's
toxic.
weird. Yeah, no, let's not. No.
Actually, no. Yeah. There's no good Targaryens to like compare ourselves to. They're all related to each other. He's your uncle. Yep. See?
That's right.
Yep. There it is. Cat's out of the bag now.
I'm too young to be your uncle. I am only in my early 20s.
Yeah, okay.
We had this conversation last time.
Yeah, that's right. You're only 23 or whatever.
24, actually.
Oh,
This is my
okay.
birthday.
Sorry, this Doda just so cute over here.
Either.
She just being a baby with her feet. She doing a baby with her feet.
But yeah, I mean that's basically all I got. Like that's who I
Yeah,
think.
I don't really have much. I mean, you kind of just laid them all out on the table, and then I was like, those are literally all of them that aren't like reaching way into tinfoil territory. Like, what if it was a Shara Dane? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we could do that. I just have to do more research to kind of come up with a theory why it would be, a Shara Dane or some random person or like never mind. Names.
Ray, background character number 5.
Yeah, the one who always told the stories to Bran. Old Nan, yeah.
She's not dead.
Yeah, she is.
What?
She's one of the people they kill when Theon raids Winterfell, isn't she? Yeah.
Wow, I haven't read the books in a while.
I could have sworn that she dies. All right, you know what? One last thing before we go. We're going to look this up real quick. Is Old Nan dead?
So pretty.
My eyes, I know.
I wasn't looking at your eyes.
All right, I wondered what happened to prisoners at the Dread Fort, notably Old Nan and Little Beth. Answers. Old Nan is in the Dread Fort according to the appendix.
Lord Ramsay has reportedly grown fond of her stories. Okay.
Okay, so she is still alive.
Yeah, all right. I was like, wait, no.
That's funny. Lord Ramsay Bolton has reportedly grown fond of her stories, knowing how wild her stories are.
See, that says Greyjoy's Anatomy.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, so there, that
So
answer.
apparently she's not
You
confirmed
done the butcher's
dead.
boy? Something tells me that is probably one of the biggest leaps. You know who he's talking about, right?
No.
The butcher's boy. Like 20 chapters into a Game of Thrones.
Right, the kid that like the kid Arya was playing with?
Yeah, the one who got
Micah, the one that the Hound killed?
Yeah, the one that got cut in half.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty tinfoil. What if it's Rhaegar?
It's Lyanna.
What if it's the Mad King? Wait. What if it's
Lyanna turns out to be Old Nan. She used
New
magic.
theory. New theory. Lyanna Stark is actually Old Man. Wait, what if it was Robert?
What, Old Nan is Robert?
No, what if Robert was the character that Martin never meant to kill? Whoops. And remember, Ned's not dead. He warged into a pigeon at the end of the book. He's still alive.
Because Arya killed the pigeon. He's in a bowl of brown right now.
Full of-
They have a recipe for that. Yeah, it's one of the recipes in the cookbook.
The
Song
Song
of
of
Ice and
Ice.
Fire cookbook.
I bet it's actually good.
I have to try it. It's like 6 different types of meat you have to throw in there. I don't know.
Bet there is.
And yes, pigeon is one of them. Yeah, pretty much. Arya crying about Ned's death.
Buffy eats him. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's probably more, but I feel like we talked about all the main ones.
What if the dire wolf that had the puppies
was the character?
Was Lyanna Stark.
Oh.
She warged into the dire wolf
before she died.
And before she died, she tried to make it back to Winterfell. But didn't make it because of the stag that fucking jammed her in the chin.
Which was Robert warged into the stag, and he didn't realize until after.
Going a little bit too tinfoil now.
No.
Yeah, I've had pigeon before. It's one of those things you get like, and if a restaurant sells rabbit, they usually have like pigeon or something too.
Makes sense. Oh, Lyanna was the boar that killed Robert. She avenged Rhaegar. That's a good one. That's solid. That's an S tier theory right there.
What if Rhaegar is the boar?
What if Rhaegar
Let's skip the middle lady. Just what if Rhaegar is the boar?
Oh wow. That's wild. No, Rhaegar is like the Night's King or something.
Hey, how would he have gotten there?
Destination is important, not the journey, as season 8 showed us. He wants upseas.
No, but He never just sits still. He's so annoying when he gets upsies.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think we got it all. I also think like it's hard for me to differentiate between the books and the TV show because it's been a while. And plot lines diverge so much once you get through like season 4. Things just start going bananas.
all right. Well, you look tired, so
Sorry.
I guess let's just call it on that.
Yep. I mean, I feel like we
The
went.
dire wolf was Liana and gave birth to all the pups that are now the children's pups. And also, Grey Wind should have survived so that
Everyone should have
Rob's
survived.
spirit could have gone into him. And then
Also, Tywin should have lived longer because he's great.
no, you're right. He shouldn't have. He died at the right time.
No,
Yep.
I think more Tywin would have suited the story very well.